All right, so the groundhog said early spring last month. It's March, and let's hope that that animal is correct. Hi, I'm Pete Turok, president of the Anoka Area Chamber of Commerce, and this is the Chamber Report. It is March, and that means that one of the craziest months of the year, February, is over. And let me tell you something, there was a board of directors and a staff at the Anoka Area Chamber doing one of these, because it was a huge month. We had an absolutely massive, record-setting 2 events. We're going to talk about those coming up in a little bit. We've also got Dave Billahus, chair of the board of directors, is going to talk about what's been going on with the Chamber Board of Directors. We'll get an update there. We're going to talk about one of those events. And again, record-setting. Dave loves when I say that, especially. You want to be the chair of the board when you have a record-setting event. Well, we had 2 of them in Feb. We'll talk about those. Also, member profiles are here. It is the part that you like the best. It's an opportunity for you to find out who some of our many 600 rock star member all-stars are, and you're going to hear about them. And guess what? Maps aren't dead. That's a little bit of a tease. We'll get into all of that coming up, and we'll do it right after this.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Back on the Chamber Report, time now to take a peek back at the month of February, and I told you that it was nuts, and it was, and that's because of 2 major events. One of those was our State of the Cities Luncheon. It is an opportunity for our membership to get together and find out what has, is, and will be happening in our member cities. We had 8 member cities represented at the event that we held out at Willie McCoy's in Champlin. I'll tell you what, we had a huge turnout. Over 150 members showed up. It's always been a big luncheon. That was the biggest ever. We thank the 6 mayors and the 2 city managers that came and gave updates, and especially to our host city, Champlin. Boy, they went overboard in welcoming people, and we appreciate that. It's a very informative luncheon, very great topic, and I know that QCTV is doing some special programming with an opportunity for you to see the entire show. But we've got a clip from that event. Let's take a peek now.
I'm going to try to make this quick because I can't stand public speaking at all. It kills me every time. I want to thank you to the Chamber and to Mayor Nelson for letting us take up this beautiful space here. That's our great council there in the city of Dayton. Bob Darris, who is my administrator, is not here today, which kind of surprises me because he normally comes to this. We do this here at the Anoka Chamber. We also do it at the I-94 Chamber. Bob has worked for every city in the I-94 Chamber, so I thought he'd be handing out his resume here today. But you know, before we get in this, go back one slide. I just want to point out that we've got this welcome to the city of Dayton, and that's one of my goals is to change that. That's an old Eagle Scout project, and we need to update that a little bit. But move on. We'll get to that a little bit later. This is my 4th presentation of this august body. It might be my last. You never know. This is an election year, so I get a little nostalgic when we do these things. It's particularly in election years. So I want to give a little history of the city of Dayton. When we go to the next slide, this is Lyman Dayton. He was the person that the city of Dayton is named after back in the 1850s. The city was platted by Lyman Dayton. At the time, the city was actually bigger than all the cities in this room tonight, which is hard to believe since right now we're one of the smallest, with the possible exception of Nowthen. Next slide. We started as a thriving river community, and we literally were a metropolis by the standards of the day. We were on what then was considered I-94, which is the Mississippi River, and had incredible access to transportation, which is what makes a great river, or a great city. Next slide, please. We were a thriving business community, and this building's still standing in Dayton right now. You can't quite see it, but it says McNeil on the building, so that was built by my great-great-uncle. And like I say, this is the biggest city around. Move on to the next one. So I'm going to briefly the history. We were settled in the 1850s. We were thriving, and then the railroad came, bypassed the city of Dayton, and when transportation goes away, it's all downhill. And so for about 70 or more years, we did not have a good track record of big major wins. In fact, we had some pretty major losses. I got elected, and the very first thing I wanted to do is turn that around. So I went to the League of Minnesota Cities and asked for some reading. I wanted to get up to speed as to what a mayor should do. So they gave me a lot of reading to do, and on the list was this book. So that got me thinking. You know, we got this, but in Dayton we have this. We have this, and in Dayton we have this. And so I kept thinking, and then it kind of came to me that, you know, I can do this. I know what I need to do. So the next thing we do is we're making Dayton great again. And the amazing thing is you have to realize that we had a lot of losses. We just had losses. There was a lot of losses. And I had to figure out how to start winning. You know, the winning is the important thing. So how do you get rid of the losses? I went back to the book, and I realized that the winning gets rid of the losing. That's all you need to do. You need to start winning. So the very first thing that we did is we got a new staff. We got we right-sized our budget so that our tax rate started to go down. We refinanced $12 million. That's literally it was a $23 million bond. We took $12 million off the books through a refinancing, and we redid our comp plan to include a bunch of industrial, which didn't exist before. So we're on the road to winning. We'll take the next slide. That sets up for 2015, where we have 75 new homes built in 2015. Now, that doesn't sound great to a lot of the cities here, but you have to understand Dayton didn't have more than 20 homes built ever in our entire career. So this is huge, huge, huge. We had our construction there, and then we had Liberty Property Trust come in, and we'll go to the next slide there. Liberty Property Trust built this 243,000 square foot building, which by our standards, of course, is huge, but it's also total class there. Then that sets us up for 2015, where they came in and had another proposed building next. That is, what you're looking at there is 1.8 million square feet. And for perspective standpoints,
Again, want to thank all of the people that attended our State of the Cities luncheon and all those city representatives. What a great event that we had out at Willie McCoy's, and we'll look forward to having another one of those next year. It is by far the most popular luncheon that we do every year. Networking events occur every month at the Anoka Area Chamber, and you know what? That luncheon was an opportunity for that to occur, and it did. As I saw people passing out cards, meeting people, that's what Chamber is all about. We also have a designated event, actually 2 a month. It's called the AM Connections Networking Group. That group met in February. In fact, they meet every month, first and third Wednesday of every month at the Chamber office, 7:45 to 9 o'clock. Free to attend as a Chamber member, no RSVP needed. It is some of the best networking you will find. There are business leads, business card exchanges, presentations. Everybody in the room gets a chance to have a 1-minute verbal commercial so that everybody who is there knows who you are, what you have to sell, what your products and services are. It is great. Biggest event of the year, biggest event of February was our Chamber Gala Dinner fundraiser. It was held on the 19th of February out at the Courtyards Vandover. And we will be talking about that in just a second here on the show with the chair of the board, Dave Billahus. Time now for our benefit of the month. This month, it's member discounts. Members offer discounts to other members, and it's easy to find them. You can go to the Chamber website, and up on top, we have all these different tabs. You go to the member section, click it, go down to member discounts, and you will see all the discounts that are available to you. And I'll give you an example of one. Hardee's on the corner of 7th Avenue and East Main Street in Anoka. Really good biscuits and gravy. Every time you go through, you tell them you're a Chamber of Commerce member, you get a 10% discount. Now that's a nice discount. And members are offering these all over the place. You can go to the website and you can see what our members are offering you. And I urge you to do that if you're a member of the chamber. Now, if you'd like to offer discounts, really simple. Get a hold of me or Tammy at the office. Tell us what the discount is, how you want people to get a hold of you, whether it be through email, phone call, who to talk to. Get me that information. We will get it up on the website. You can change it at any time, take it down at any time. You can do whatever you want, but it's a great way and another way for you to get your business name out to the 600 plus members of the Anoka Area Chamber of Commerce, and we want you to do that. So member discounts, 10% off at Hardee's, biscuits and gravy. Need I say more? And you can have those discounts offered from your business as well. Just get a hold of staff and we will make that happen. Time now for us to take a break. When we come back, he is in the house. Dave Bilhuis, chair of the board of directors. We'll talk about what Chamber's been up to. We'll talk about that gala dinner. Wow, is all I have to say. And we'll do that right after this. Back on the Chamber Report, time now for our monthly visit with Dave Bilhuis. Dave is chair of the board of directors of the Anoka Area Chamber of Commerce. Sadly, an unpaid position, but he's just a guy who wanted to be a part, took the steps, took the extra step to get on the board, and then took the extra step and became vice chair. Eventually, he's sitting in the chair. He is now chair of the board for this year. And may I add, Dave, a record-setting year so far.
It's amazing, Pete. Thanks for having me back again. And that gala, the people that showed up, the people that gave opportunities for us to silent auction, live auction, all the sponsorships, new sponsorships that you were able to commit to from people. It was an amazing time, and pretty anxious to see how it turns out at the end when we do the counting.
You bet, and we aren't there yet, but we will let you know. But Dave's right, record number of attendees out of the courtyard, record number of sponsors. I had people who, I didn't create sponsorships, but we had these ones kind of stuck back in the closet that we have always talked about but never did. Pulled those all out and they were all gone. And the giving from the membership was phenomenal. You know, Dave, you had an opportunity through your company, which is Twin City Homeworks, and we'll talk about that in a second, to give us a really unique piece of memorabilia that we got from a Hall of Fame football player who lives in our region, Jim Langer.
Yeah, that was great. We did some work for Jim's son, and he was kind enough to autograph some footballs for us, and we just had a great time. And that was one of many opportunities that people had to bid on stuff, and we raised a lot of money for a great cause, our chamber, and we give a lot of things to people, scholarships to kids, etc. So it was an amazing time, and I can't get over it. I'm still shaking.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. And I will tell you this, you know, we talk about that Jim Langer ball. I mean, the membership just gave. Dave does the work for him and immediately calls me up and says, okay, so what's the real football that we're looking for? Because he had gala on the brain, he had silent auction on the brain, and so many of our members do, and the giving was absolutely phenomenal. So thank you to everybody who attended. Thank you to everybody who sponsored, who donated, and the list is large. It was record setting. Our largest crowd ever was this year. Prior to this, it was just before the recession, and we beat that number this year. We beat the sponsor number. We beat everything. Heck, it started with our Toys for Joy. Well, actually, the annual meeting was the biggest. Then Toys for Joy luncheon was the most giving we've ever had in the history. It was the biggest gala, and it was actually the biggest State of the Cities, and you had a chance to MC that event out at Willie McCoy's. Great job with the food out there, by the way. Thank you to Willie McCoy's. But I'll tell you what, those mayors and those city managers did a wonderful job.
Yeah, the talent that we have in our communities is amazing. Mr. McNeil from Dayton, I'd like to hire that guy for a speaker for my company. He's a good guy, but 6 mayors, I believe, and 2 administrators from the cities just did a fantastic job, and everybody was mesmerized by what was happening. I mean, we need to know what's happening in our communities. I can't believe all the stuff that's happening in our membership communities, and really a good time.
I'll tell you what, you know, our chunk, when you talk about our community cities from Champlin and Dayton to Andover, Anoka, Ramsey, Coon Rapids, now then St. Francis, Oak Grove, it is quite a circle of what we've got. And there is a lot going on in that circle. And we found out, you saw a little bit with the clip that we had earlier. I urge you to watch the full show. And he's right about Dayton Mayor Tim McNeil. Very knowledgeable in the sense of the information we got, but he was funny. And you'll enjoy it, and I hope that you take the time to do that. But what a great crowd that showed up. And really, everybody does want to know what's going on. Well, they got that this luncheon, and it turned out great. All right, Chamber is a business. We are a nonprofit 501c6 business. We are not funded by city, county, state, fed monies or grants or any of that. We are funded by the members who are the Chamber, and they make up the board of directors. So we go out to the membership every year. We're looking for 5 new people to come on to serve a 3-year term. As 5 leave, 5 come on. We get this great mix going on. Dave is one of those people who are on the board, and they have a monthly board meeting. And so with that, as a business, one of the big things that, Dave, I know you brought up last September when we were starting our planning for our new year in October was health insurance for employees. There was nothing in place prior, and the Chamber Board made some steps to start chipping away at that a little bit. And recently, you just had another discussion about that.
Yeah, we came to another conclusion, a separate conclusion that we should continue to fund it. Pete and Tammy, you guys do a great job. It's very important. Everybody knows how important health insurance is, and for what we do and the efforts that you guys give, we thought it was certainly something that the board should dictate to keep growing, keep investigating all the costs, because if I understand things correctly, because I know personally,
yes,
things do not go down, they just go up. So we were happy to do that, and we'll continue to look in and evaluate that in the future, and I'm sure we'll keep growing it as we keep going.
Well, and I'll tell you, as an employee, obviously that's a big piece for us because it's never been in place. I've been there 29 years, and this is the first year that came into play, and it's great, and it is greatly appreciated. Reason that I brought that up is that it's important for you to understand that we are a business. And with that comes things like that we want to deal with, and we have done that as the board continues to talk about that. And as Dave mentioned, and in fact, it was even part of the motion that next year it's going to be reevaluated again and again and again, and that's the way that you do those types of things. Chamber is not a wealthy, massive money organization. Monies are very tight for us. And so this is something that was discussed for many years leading up to, and then finally they were able to take some steps to get it going. We are not fully funded in health insurance. Maybe that happens down the road, maybe it doesn't. You know, it's a whole different world out there, but the board felt that it was something important, took that move, and it was important for you to understand that we are a business, just like all of you that are in business, you understand. Oh, you totally understand, and I get it as well. So just want to give you that as a piece. The other thing that the Chamber Board talked about was an event that the Chamber's been a part of for years, and it's called the Chamber Mayor's Snowmobile Trail Ride. And Dave, it's another way for us to get back to community, and in this case, communities.
Exactly. Well, I think there was 200 people that showed up the last time. Mother Nature doesn't always coordinate with us very well on some of these things. This year, we ended up not being able to have the ride, except the cool thing is that we still are able, people donated, they gave monies, they gave other things, and we are still able to get some funding going and help our communities, give back to the communities that we do. So again, even though we didn't ride on the trails, we didn't ride on the Rum River, still a lot of people are very excited, and I think it's going to keep going. We talked about that, and hopefully Mother Nature gives us an opportunity to do it next year.
You know, it's absolutely amazing. So here's a synopsis if you don't know what the Mayor's Snowmobile Trail Ride is. We understand that rivers are a resource. They are a huge resource, whether they're full of ice or whether they're water, whether it's boats or whether it's snowmobiles going on them, it's a resource. Well, the Mayor's Trail Ride was started some years ago because it touches so many of our cities, from Anoka to Ramsey to Andover to now then to Oak Grove to St. Francis. They are all there and able to be a commerce highway. So if you jump on a snowmobile and a trail system that's in place, you could go up and have a ice cream cone up at the Dairy Queen in St. Francis, or stop down to McDuff's and have a beer at Rum River Hills in Ramsey, or pop down and get some chicken wings at Serum's in downtown Anoka. And so that's why we put it together. We then took all the monies that came into play and we donated those back to all the mayors involved in all those cities. So they got to pick the charity of their choice. And as Dave mentioned, we did not have weather conditions, and safety is obviously number one to do it. However, we had some snowmobile clubs that donated to the event prior. We had some individuals who had signed up, and they said, you know what, just give it to charity. which, you know, what does that say about the people that are in this area? So we are still going to donate from the 2016 Mayor's Snowmobile Trail Ride to 6 city mayor charities of their choice without having an event. That's pretty good. And that is an example of how Chamber gets involved in communities. It just makes sense for us to be the lead on that. We're happy to be the lead on it. There's a lot of administrative work that needs to be done with that. There's a fiscal agent responsibility. We can do that as well. So we get the monies, we distribute the monies. Chamber doesn't make a penny, does not want a penny. It goes out, and Dave, it just goes back to our mission of community.
Exactly. We have to be involved. We love to be involved, and everybody's involvement in our communities it's overwhelming to me. This year has just been enlightening as far as how much people give of their time, of their opportunities to give money and/or other resources, and it's great. It's again, it just gives you a lot of self-worth as far as how we interact with our business community and how the businesses interact with the communities that we live and work in.
That's a win-win. Now, I got to be honest, so leading up to the Mayor's Trail Ride, we needed it to be super, super cold, which it was, so we got some ice for them. Then we needed to get like 10 inches of snow. So some of the people that were involved said, pray for snow. Oh, man, I got to be honest, I couldn't do it, but they did, and it still didn't work because Mother Nature is going to do what she does. So like Dave said, hopefully this is something that will continue, and we can get the right weather conditions. If it is not safe, we will not do it. It's just that simple. We have Jim Way, former police chief from the city of Ramsey, who's an integral part of this event from the very beginning, and I will take his decision and his call about safety every time, and it just wasn't there. We're not going to put anybody in jeopardy. I can tell you that the Chamber insurance agent did one of these when I called up and told them, yeah, we're not going to do it. It's not safe. We wouldn't do it. It's just not worth it. But anyway, I'll tell you what, brother, your year is rocking.
Yeah, it's going fast. It's exciting, and it's fun time to meet everybody. I'm just going to say, if I can, Pete, that the gala committee and you and Tammy, rock stars, what happened this year, it's just unbelievable how people stepped up, gave of their time, of everything to do that, and I just can't be more proud of how everybody's got this thing done, and it was amazing.
Yeah, let me tell you something, that gala committee, those people know what they're doing. It is a finely tuned machine, and they rock. Do you realize, by the way, that you are halfway through your year?
You know, I did look at the calendar. I like it.
Well, there
I like
right.
it.
There
like
you go. And it's all about beating last year's chair, and so far he's 6 for 6. So, and we like that. In fact, to be honest, Tom Weaver, who was past chair, if you were a watcher of the show, you saw him sitting in that seat a year ago. Tom wants Dave to beat everything that he's done. And I'll guarantee you that when Kent Hansen from Anoka Technical College comes on next year, Dave's going to want him to do it, because it just means that Chamber's moving forward with our mission and what we're doing. Good job. We will see you next month.
Look forward to it, Pete.
Coming back, it's your favorite segment. It is Member Profiles, a chance for you to find out who our many members of the Chamber are, what it is they do, and maps aren't dead. We'll be back right after this. Back on the Chamber Report, time now to answer the question. Are maps dead? You know, I've been teasing the whole show about it. No, they are not dead. And the person who can answer that question is here, and her name is Krista Jeck. She is with ECM Publishers. Krista, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so are maps dead?
Maps are not dead.
They are not dead.
They are not dead.
And you know it and I know it. And here's the reason that I know it is because we have her and ECM Publishers produce the Chamber map for us. We're going to talk about that in a second. But we go through so many of these. You know, everybody, it's all on your phone, and I get that. We go through tons of these maps. In fact, when you and I met to talk about this, we were talking about, well, first you shot me an email and said, hey, how are we doing on the number of maps? So I went down in the basement and I counted and came back and emailed it to you, and you kind of came back going, whoa, time for us to look at another one. So we are blowing through maps, and people still like to physically have it, throw it in the glove compartment, and they will pull it out and they will use it.
They will, and you know what? What's great about a map reader is this is not a casual reader. Someone who is picking up a map, they are picking up a map because they are actively looking for information in your area. And so as an advertiser, you want your message and your advertisement in front of those eyeballs that are looking for information on this area. That's the exact audience you're looking for.
You bet. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about distribution, about how we do this as well. But first, let's talk about ECM Publishers. ECM, probably familiar to a lot of you with the name. You might be driving down East River Road and see a building that has an ECM on it. Tell everybody about ECM Publishers.
Yes, so most people know that we are a newspaper publisher, but I don't think that everyone realizes kind of the depth of services that we offer to the community. So we do. We publish 50 community newspapers and 20 local news websites in the state of Minnesota. But we also have so many other resources available. We're a commercial printer, and we can print anything from business cards to community ed brochures to newspapers. We have video production capabilities. We have a promotional products division that can help you customize products and giveaways, you know, pens, mugs, shirts, any of that. We have SEO optimization opportunities available for our advertisers. We produce community events that local businesses can come to and showcase themselves to the residents. And then what my department does, and why I'm here, is that we partner with organizations like the Chamber of Commerce, and we help them sell and design, print, and then distribute their custom publishing products.
All right, so this is it, man. This is a specialty product. We had the need for it. We've had a map ever since I've been at the Chamber, and I'm sure Chamber was producing it long before that. And there's a reason, because people asked for it. They asked for it 30 years ago. They asked for it today. We also produce a Chamber magazine as well, an informational resource guide. So when somebody is thinking about coming to the area, they get our magazine and they get this map. So this is a specialty project that we have ECM come and do. So who's receiving it? How's it distributed? And we'll kind of go back and forth on that.
Sure. So first of all, what the map is, if you have not seen it, it's a detailed street map of the city of Anoka and surrounding areas. It also has a high-level map of the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. So we also have a list of important phone numbers in there. We have icons in there with points locating different points of interest, and then obviously we have local Chamber member advertisements in there. And so that is distributed through, we distribute it through the Chamber office, through city offices, throughout, and like Pete said, anyone who's requesting it. So new residents, visitors, local businesses who might be looking to relocate, anyone who's really looking for that information is getting that map.
We go through about 100 of these a month, and we supply all of our 9-member cities with this. We also get them out at the courthouse. You call up, we mail it, you stop in, we give it. We get it out at city halls, we get it everywhere. It's an opportunity for you to have it, for someone who's thinking of coming to the area to have it. And so we produce it. We produce it because there's a need, and we blew through so many. Krista, when did we do this last? Was it a year and a half ago or a year ago?
It was only a year ago.
It was only a year ago, and let me tell you something. Right there, that says what I need, which is I need to print more. So we're doing it, and that's why she's here. So why should a local business advertise on that map?
There's really 3 reasons that you should seriously consider making this a part of your marketing mix. And one we already talked about. People who are picking up a map are actively looking for information. They are people who are looking for resources. And so they are going to read this. They are going to look for new information, new places to visit, new insurance companies, any of that. It's very important. The second reason is a lot of businesses, when they're looking to come into an area, the first place they call is the Chamber of Commerce. Yeah. They know it's a trusted local resource for information. And by you placing your advertisement and your message on a Chamber branded publication like that, you're being able to align yourself with that credibility of the Chamber. Third, it's such a low-cost option. Right. It's a full-color ad. You get a single box for $295, and that's an entire year of exposure. So it's such a low-cost option to add on to any of the other marketing that you're already doing for the year.
How many pieces can you advertise that are 365 days a year?
Exactly.
And this map gives you that opportunity. All right, advertising on this map does help the Chamber of Commerce. How?
It does. It actually helps the Chamber of Commerce in a couple different ways. So obviously, by having advertising in there, it just adds another layer of information to that map. So it's another great thing, another resource that the Chamber is handing out to folks. Second, it allows the Chamber to produce and distribute this at no cost to them. And in addition, the Chamber actually gets a portion of this money back to funnel back into the Chamber. And the Chamber is then able to use that towards programming and events and all those things that make the Chamber great, that in turn obviously are making your community great.
No doubt. All right. I know somebody out there is like, you know what, I'm in. I'm interested. I want to learn more. Give us the details. Deadline, who do they get a hold of? When is this thing coming out? All of it.
So this one will be coming out, the 2016-2017 version will be publishing in May. So someone from my staff at ECM Publishers will have contacted all chamber members by the end of March. But if you are anxious, you want to get in now, be sure and give me a call and we'll reserve your spot. Because one thing to know is this is a limited space opportunity. There is only so many boxes. So you can either reach me directly at 952-392-6835, or you can go to ecmpublishers.com, click on the specialty publications link, and all of my contact information is there as well.
So, Krista, are maps dead?
Maps are not dead.
Maps are not dead.
Pete is very passionate about these maps.
They aren't, and the reason
Yes.
I know, and I'm a Google's map guy, I mean, I get it, but trust me, I mean, we plow through these things. It's like water. Every time we go to a city festival and we have a booth and we bring magazines and maps, they're gone. People walk in the office all the time and grab maps. I'm just saying, maps aren't dead. Krista, thank you for coming. Thank you for helping us out. This is a win-win for everybody. Helps communities promote themselves, help Chamber with the mission of who they are and what they are. And it helps the advertiser because, man, you are getting your face right in front of people that want this piece. It is the official map of the Anoka Area Chamber. And let me tell you something. There are people out there who are not the official map of the Anoka Area Chamber. We get calls from time to time from people saying, hey, I got called from this so-and-so company out of another state, and they said that you guys distribute. We do not. The only map we produce is the ECM Publishers official magazine, official map of the Anoka Area Chamber of Commerce. Those are the only two pieces that we do that have official from us, distributed by us at City Halls by the Chamber. None of the other ones. So as a Chamber member, she's it. Her staff is it. ECM Publishers is it. Just trust me. If you don't trust, call. I will tell you, maps aren't dead. ECM Publishers is doing our map. So number again, if they want to get a hold of you right now?
952-392-6835.
And as Krista said, there are people will be hitting the phones, pounding the streets, selling ads. We will get this thing done. We always do. Pounds out. Ads are filled. Boom. They print, and we get them in, and we start getting rid of them. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Maps aren't dead.
Na 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 na, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Next up on the Chamber Report, we've got a member who's been with us, well, as long as I've been here, if not longer, one of our longest standing members, and they've got some cool stuff going on. It is Simonson Salon and Day Spa, and with us is Miranda Brown and January Brandt. Ladies, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to start with you, Miranda. We hear that there's a ton of exciting things happening at Simonson's. Tell us about your new partnership with Dr. Harrington, head of plastic surgery at North Memorial, and her associates. What's going on with her?
Well, we are so excited to be paired up with Dr. Harrington and her physician assistants. They are going to be performing medical spa services at our Plymouth location currently right now, soon to be coming to Coon Rapids, so we're very excited about that. Currently at our Plymouth location, they are offering dermal fillers such as your Dysport, your Botox, your Restylane, your Voluma. I'm sure you're very familiar with those.
I was just going to set my appointment up with Kyle, but I'm sure we'll get there. But I know people out there know what you're talking about.
We are also offering Latisse, which will help grow your lashes, and also the very popular HCG diet. In addition to that exciting news, the most exciting part of that is the fact that we can now offer medical spa services and products with our estheticians at all three of our locations.
I'll tell you what, Miranda, from where Simonson Salon started, and it was Salon then, to where you are now is incredible. January, tell us a little bit about the latest advanced med spa treatment that's now available at Simonson's.
So one of the new services that we're bringing in, and we're like super excited about it, is Skin Pen. So basically with Skin Pen, it's going to help stimulate the skin's natural ability to produce like that new healthy woven collagen. So by doing that, you're helping with fine lines, you're helping with hyperpigmentation, you're helping with acne scarring, but also just working with how your skin was meant to heal. So you're helping making that healthy collagen and just really helping with the anti-aging and firming, and it's amazing for acne scarring. Some of the before and afters are just,
I bet.
they're crazy.
I bet they are. Tell us about the new paramedical skincare products.
So for skincare, again, with having Dr. Harrington on, we've been able to bring in just a really great medical grade skincare line. So we chose Environ. It's based out of South Africa. Dr. Des Fernandez is the doctor that helped develop it. And again, they are trying to keep everything just really healthy for the skin, again, working with the science and how the skin works. So they're really big into vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, just a lot of really great ingredients that are needed for anti-aging. They also have just an amazing acne line as well. And again, using products like vitamin A, but then also using ingredients like colostrum to help with healing. So not only are you treating the acne, but you're also helping to heal the skin.
Boy, it's just a different world that I grew up in to what is available now.
Yeah, it's fun.
And this stuff works.
It does.
It does.
It's pretty amazing. We've seen some just really cool results in the salon, and I've even had a couple of the skin pen services done, and just with having one treatment, I noticed a huge difference.
That is cool. Well, Miranda, this is neat. 33 years Kyle has been in business, and I was telling you guys before we started, I mean, she joined the chamber right away. Her and I have known each other, my 29 years here, but for her to be 33 years into the business, number one, that is worth massive congratulations. And number two, it is a time to celebrate. So I would imagine that Simonson's is not going to take this lightly. You're going to have some fun with it. Big deal.
Yes.
What's going on?
Well, we love to celebrate, and this year at Simonson's, this April is our anniversary sale, and it starts Monday, April 4th, and it goes through Sunday, April 10th. And really what that entails is an opportunity to offer our clients great opportunities. So for example, we are offering 20% off of products like Environ. We also have Keratin that will be on sale, Unite, Kevin Murphy, OPI, nail polish, and many more. In addition to that, we're gonna offer a pick a discount, so you can do a drawing for anywhere from 10 to 20% off any non-promotional item. And there's also a chance for you to enter a drawing for up to $2,000 in Simonson's gift cards.
Wow. I'll tell you what, if you've been thinking about some of these treatments, if you've been thinking about maybe making a change where you're getting things done now and you're just looking for something in the backyard, that can happen right here at Simonson Salon and Spa. And we mentioned earlier, they mentioned the 3 locations. Obviously, we have one in Coon Rapids in our watching area, but Miranda, you also have other locations in?
We have a location in Plymouth and also in Maple Grove.
So if somebody wants to find out about many of the things that I can't pronounce, but that you talked about what you can do, that both you talked about, they're interested in that celebration, they're interested in learning more, how would someone go about doing that?
The best way to go about doing that is go online to our website, www.simonsons.com.
I'll tell you what, they will make you feel better and look better, and you should celebrate with them. Miranda Brown, January Brent, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
I'll tell you what, 33 years, that says it all.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you?
You know you do.
That's why we're here. We're free and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Picking a college, man. You and us. We go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos.
Go to GetSchooled.com.
Next up, there is a special event coming up in May that I want to talk about. It is called Walk a Mile in Her Shoes. And with us, we have Brian Nystrom and Kelly Schmidt from Nystrom & Associates. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Brian, we had some of your staff contact me some months ago and say, hey, you know what, we got this idea. We're talking about doing this. Is there little places here or there where maybe I might be able to direct them to the right place or talk? And I said, heck yes. And all of a sudden here we are doing a cable piece and we have flyers printed and routes done. Talk to me about Walk a Mile in Her Shoes. What is it and why in Anoka County?
Well, we're very excited. Walk a Mile in Her Shoes is an international movement. It's a men's movement. And the goal is to raise awareness around domestic violence and sexual assault. And it's an opportunity for men, but it's open to families, so wives, children, etc., to, on this march, say, stop domestic violence. Enough is enough. Let's be kind to women. Let's stamp out domestic violence. And it really has to start with men.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if men can get the message and stop, well, we solve a lot of problems.
Very much so. So, not only men, you said families, women, anybody who wants to participate in this, anybody who feels a passion for this topic. And Brian, sadly, especially in the sports world, we've been hearing more and more about this over the last year. But you know what? The more that we hear about it, the more that something can be done. And this is an example of something that can be done that's in a positive, but I got to ask you. So when I walk this thing, do I got to wear the wife's heels?
Well, first, Pete, I want to challenge you.
Okay.
I'm hoping you will walk in the march.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm there.
Okay, great.
Do I have to wear the wife's heels? Because I don't think they're going to fit. And if I have to go into a store, people might look and just say, well, we don't have size 13s.
So the answer is no.
Okay.
You don't have to.
Okay. Are you urging people to do that?
We're urging.
Oh, okay. You know, Champlin Goodwill, Coon Rapids Goodwill are members, and maybe they got some. All right, so this event is coming up, and I should have said this right away. It's going to be on May 21st. It's going to be in downtown Anoka, and Kelly's going to give us all the information about that a little bit later. They've got a great, beautiful path for this walk to occur. You're going to go right along the Rum River, up on Ferry Street, back down on Main Street. It's going to have a lot of great high visibility, but you're going to love that river walk. If you've not been back behind Anoka City Hall on the lower Rum and seen what they've done, here's a great way to do that and also to help this cause. All right, so I don't have to wear heels, but if I can find a pair, I could. I said when and where in the sense, and I kind of took your next question, but May 21st, but where exactly downtown and how's the whole thing going to roll?
Well, it'll be start at the Anoka City Plaza, and that's where we'll gather. The walk will be from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. They can register on site prior to that starting at 8:30, Kelly?
Yep, registration at 8:30 all the way up until about 9:50 before the walk kickoff.
Okay. And City Hall Plaza, 2015 First Avenue South. So basically the parking lot in front of Anoka City Hall is where everything is going to start. And can companies participate in this, get involved in the walk, maybe get their employees involved?
That's our hope. Companies, social service agencies will have kind of corporate, and they can have employees sign up and kind of have a friendly competition between companies. Who can get the most walkers to walk in the march? So we're encouraging, Mercy Hospital, Anoka County Social Services, private companies and so forth to create walk teams.
It's only a mile. You can do it in heels. I mean, women have been wearing those dang things for a long, long time, and I always heard about it. Well, here's my chance to actually feel it, and yours too. And more importantly, it is for this cause. How do people register? Is there a cost? What are we looking at?
Sure, you can register at www.nystromcounseling.com/walk-a-mile. So pretty easy to get to. You can register as an individual or create your own walk team. And so you can invite your friends and family to participate in this as well with you. And you can even ask your company if they are involved in this and if they have a company team that you can register under. So lots of different ways to participate.
Brian, question. So Nystrom and Associates, tell us a little bit about the company.
Well, we started in 1991, and we provide outpatient psychotherapy, psychiatry services, a variety of other mental health and chemical dependency programs. So,
Coon Rapids location right there on East River Road.
Correct, Coon Rapids.
Now, here's the question. Walk a mile in our shoes, how did it come out of a company doing what you do? Is it just a natural fit? Was this something that staff sat down with and said, we want to do something for community, something for the cause? Kelly, tell us how it came about.
Well, the Nystroms have been very involved with the Alexandra House since the beginning, and so it just was kind of something that felt natural to do. We thought that it would be great to get the community involved and raise awareness about domestic violence here in Anoka, and just, I guess, in all communities. It is an international walk, so.
All right, it is May 21st. It's going to go downtown Anoka. You're going to meet at City Hall. You know what, if you can't find the 13 heels, don't worry about it. That's not what this is really all about. It's about the cause and about being a part of this walk, and we want you to be a part of it as well. So everybody's going to meet in front of City Hall, 2015 First Avenue South in Anoka. You will want to be there May 21st. And again, Kelly, how can people register, learn more about it?
Yep, you can visit the website, www.nystromcounseling.com/walk-a-mile.
And you should. Brian Nystrom, Kelly Schmidt, Nystrom & Associates, hey, thank you for taking up the issue. Thank you for just taking the time. You don't have to do stuff like that, but you're a company that does do something like that. It's a give back. And you know what, if more companies did that, we would be a better place. And here's the cool part, man, we have so many in this membership, so many in this region that do give and do give back. And that says a lot about who we are up in the north end of the woods up here in the North Metro. But it means everything, and so thank you all for everything that you're doing with that. And I want to report back on how it goes. I'll report it, but I want to hear from you guys because you'll have all the numbers. I'm going to have blisters on my feet, so it's going to take me a little while. But would you come back and give us a wrap up?
Yes.
That'd be great. Walk a mile in our shoes. Do it. It's on May 21st.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Last but not least, it's time to talk about Betsy. Who is Betsy? No, it's not your car. Could be, because maybe you call your car Betsy. I happen to call our copier at the Anoka Area Chamber office Betsy, and we've got a guy who we actually bought Betsy from and who takes care of Betsy, and Betsy's been really good to us. His name is Brandon Roloff, and he is with Metro Sales. Brandon, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so tell us a little bit about Metro Sales. I think they already kind of figured out that you're copiers, but you're so much more than that, and I want to hear about that. And also, there's lots of different copier companies out there. What do you think differentiates Metro Sales from the rest of those?
Yeah, well, first off, as you alluded to, what we specialize in is primarily working with small to medium-sized businesses to provide them with copier, printer, and large format printing solutions that are less expensive, better, and faster. But again, our primary focus is working with those small to medium-sized businesses. Where we're unique and different is just, quite honestly, just doing things that others just can't do or are unwilling to do, with the standpoint of just putting a lot of eggs in the basket of customer service, whether that's your personnel or the investments in the parts to make the machines run well on both sides, or as far as the financial structure, as far as implementing leasing options that are just really in the customer's best interest.
You know, Metro Sales was a long-time member of the Chamber, even before we ended up getting a machine from you. And I can tell you that Brandon was not hardcore pushy. I don't like that. And he was just, hey, how's what you have working? And he knew we had an old machine, and we had a really old machine, and we owned that machine. And I was kind of content with just the maintenance package that we had. But then Brandon, when it came time, and I went out to our members that could sell me this and talked to them all, chose Metro Sales. Brandon was like, you know what? We can do it for this price. It started working what the total cost of what we as an office, just like your office, spends. Well, he figures all that out. Worked out a deal for me where we do not own our machine now, but we pay a monthly fee, but it still works out to where I was before. And that's exactly where I wanted to be. Here's the biggest part. When I hit the button, I want the button to work because I need copies. And that's where Metro Sales, if there's ever a problem, and we haven't had a problem with Betsy yet. I think we've had a couple of cleanings, but I know that if there's a problem, they're all over it. And Brandon, for me, that is everything. So there's my little seal of approval. But they're rock stars, man. They get a hold of me all the time. They don't bug me, but they're like, hey, is it giving you what you want? Do you like what you got? Do you have any issues? And they're just on it. And that's what I'm looking for, because if I got a problem, I need it covered. I don't need to understand why it broke or why it needs to be fixed. It needs to be fixed because when I hit the button, it didn't do what I want. That's what these guys do. All right, you and I have talked, and I've heard about this Six Sigma company. What does that mean? Tell me about it.
Well, the way I usually describe Six Sigma is really measuring the inefficiencies of our company so that you, the customer, don't see those firsthand. And so that we can resolve those right within our company so that, and again, you have a good experience, not only with our company, but as far as the equipment and everything involved in that, whether that's placing a service call, whether it's ordering supplies, whether it's having a technician walk through your door and having a good personal relationship and having the trust that he or she is going to resolve that issue. So again, it's really efficiency related. And to give you an example, a big component of our industry is people bragging about their response times. But the reality is, if a technician can get out there within 3 or 4 hours and they're not properly trained and they don't have the necessary part and they need to order that part, you still need to run a business. You still need your documents produced and your machine is still down. So one of our Six Sigma approaches is making sure that we have the properly trained technician there at the right time with the right part, and then twofold, making sure that that technician can get your machine running for as long as possible in between service calls. Yeah. And not to tell you how our technicians are compensated, but to give you a little idea, the longer that machine runs in between service calls, when they have a personal and proactive approach to make sure that your machine's gonna run well and you can run your business effectively, that's a win-win. Because it's not the parts that go in the machine that are expensive, it's sending a technician out there. So again, you talk about efficiency and avoiding the whole back and forth. You know, we don't have the part, we need to order the part, we'll be back in 2 days, and we're gonna throw this part in and see if that, you know, puts a Band-Aid on it and fixes it. Let's make sure that we have those parts there, the technician's properly trained, and then let's look at those other parts that are going to fail within the foreseeable future, replace them right then or right now, and hope that you don't see your technician for a long time. Because quite honestly, a lot of our customers that are with other vendors, they say, you know, Bob the technician, he's a great guy. My response to that is, I don't want you to know your technician on a first name basis, because that means your copy's not working.
It's like you don't want to know the assistant principal at a high school by the first name, because that means there's problems. And you said it all. I mean, if Betsy's down for 2 days, I am crippled in that place, as all businesses are. And I take that back. I know that, I remember we had some lines that showed up, and your guys showed up, boom, they were done, and moved on. And I don't know his name. And I'll guarantee you, Tammy, my administrative assistant, doesn't know his name. But what we do know is that our copier, Betsy, is working and doing the job that we need it to do, and I loved it. We were talking beforehand. So, all right, so we have the major copier in the office, and then I have one in my office too, and it's one of those that you can get at a retail brand name that we're probably all aware of, where it's the all-in-one, it's a scanner, a faxer, and a copier. And I was just telling you, because this thing is beat up. I mean, I hit it hard last month with the gala, and I mean, I put it through a lot, and to be honest, it's puking. And at what point am I looking at, because I always think, you know, I don't use it that much, so I don't need to have something bigger in there, but maybe I do. At what point should a business, maybe having a similar situation like mine, look at maybe doing something different?
That's a great question. And typically the conversation that I have as far as just giving honest feedback on that is, if you go through 2 reams of paper on average per month on more of a retail grade equipment solution, it makes financial sense to move that volume and reallocate it to a more industrial grade copier solution like your Ricoh multifunctional copier. Right. And the reason I say that is it's really a teeter-totter effect in our industry, to where on the retail side, the equipment is really inexpensive. Your Xerox Workforce was really inexpensive to obtain. But where it gets really expensive is the operating cost tied to it, because of course that's where they make all their money, is on the ink and the toner and the consumables to support it. And so again, you pay a little bit more for the actual equipment. It's more industrial grade, it has more capabilities. There's a great drive for efficiency, and it just costs less to run. And as you mentioned, you don't need to worry about it. Right. We take the onus on that.
Right. You know, one thing that's crazy, I mean, in my time at the chamber, and the changes that I've seen in technology of everything that goes on in that office is tremendous. Brandon, the technology changes that you see in your industry have to be absolutely mind-boggling.
You know, they are and there aren't. As far as when you look at technology, as far as with respect to document imaging, a lot of the technology that's built into the copiers today is the same as 10 years ago. There's still a walk-up copier, there's still a network printer. For those who still send and receive faxes, they have those capabilities, and then scanning. But really what's different as far as tailoring to the mobile environment where people are just, they're movers and shakers, and they're all across the board. And so that ties into mobile printing as well as scanning solutions, whether it's scanning to cloud-based applications, whether it's scanning from your iPhone, your tablet, or just scanning into your document management solution. Because again, that's a big talk track as far as trying to go more paperless, and getting rid of that redundancy. So that's really what's changed in the world of document imaging as far as new technology. It's really efficiency. And having that information readily available when you need it, when you're either preparing to get in front of your clients or you're already in front of your clients and you need it now. Boom, there it is.
Yeah. It's crazy. All right, so maybe you're Betsy at your office right now. You know, maybe it's time to retire her. She's tired. She needs a rest, and you need something new. You need a new copier. You need to be able to deal with all of the technologies that are there today, and it's daunting. You don't have a lot of time to deal with this, do you? I know you don't, because I didn't either. That's why I had Brandon come in, and we sat down, and he laid it out, made the move, and it was great, because now I don't have to worry about it. But we're getting the best quality that we can hope for, and Betsy does what we need Betsy to do when we need it, and it's worth it. So whether it's copy or any of the other pieces that Metro Sales can do for you, just give him a call. You know what? He's not high pressure. He's going to come out. He's going to analyze what you've got. He's going to tell you what can work for your business, and you'll be surprised at the cost. I wasn't. Trust me, I'm cheap, and he knows it, because he tried for years. And we had this one that we had bought through a contract and owned, and it came down to us or a church. There was like one major part left in the entire world. So trust me, if I can make that move, I know for your business, he can help you out. So Brandon, if somebody out there wants to talk, maybe he's got that retail printer and they're looking for something different, or just want to talk about what's going on in their company and how you can help, how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, I'd love to have a meaningful conversation with you. My direct phone number is 612-798-1267.
Brandon Roloff, trust me, man, he can help you. And he won't bug you a bunch. He'll just call, check in from time to time. Hey, how's the family? How's Betsy doing? And that's what we're looking for. He is Brandon Roloff. Metro Sales is the company. They're a Rockstar Chamber member, and you should do business with them. Brandon, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we'll be back, and when we do, we will wrap up this edition as we take a peek towards what's coming up. Busy summer on tap, and we've also got a great luncheon coming up in April. We'll talk about that coming up after this. Time now to wrap up this edition of the Chamber Report. Oh, am I glad February is over. It was a great month, but it's a lot of work. And March is a time for us to get caught up in the pile. And let me tell you something, there was a pile sitting on my desk of stuff that just kind of got pushed. So we're going to be dealing with that coming up this month. Obviously, our AM Connections networking, first and third Wednesday of the month, and every month for that matter, 7:45, 9 o'clock at the Chamber office. No RSVP needed, no cost. Bring a batch of business card, great networking events. We have a member orientation the second Thursday of this month and every month from 8 to 9 o'clock. Chamber office, you can learn about the many benefits of membership in the Anoka Area Chamber. One of those is having a segment right here on member profiles. We have a luncheon coming up on April 6th, and that's cool. It is Dave St. Peter, president of the Minnesota Twins. He's going to come out. We have a long history of having speakers from the Twins, Harmon Killebrew, Kirby Puckett, Rod Carew, Kent Herbeck, Tony Leave. It's been great. Well, we're getting the big guy. We're getting the president. Dave St. Peter's going to come out and talk about the Minnesota Twins. That's coming up on April 6th. We'll do that out at Green Haven. That is what's coming up. And, of course, this summer we've got Anoka Riverfest and Craft Fair on July 9th. We've got the Chamber Golf Tournament on July 25th. We have our State of the Cities County Edition luncheon coming up in May. We got tons of stuff, and we're ready for it. Hey, if you've got questions about anything you've seen on the show today, numerous ways you can get a hold of us at the Anoka Area Chamber. You can call us 763-421-7130. You can email it. In fact, email me, pete@AnokaAreaChamber.com. You can stop by the office. We're at 12 Bridge Square, which is a half block off East Main Street on 1st Avenue South, downtown Anoka. We're open 8 a.m. to 4:30 Monday through Friday. And of course, go to the website, www.AnokaAreaChamber.com. So many of you do that when you're looking for products and services because you want to deal with a business that's in our backyard. Somebody who is here, their families are here, their kids are here. Why wouldn't you use an Anoka Area Chamber member first? You should, and I know you will. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you next month right here on the Chamber Report.